The Cy Young Award winner. He was 20-9 in 1960. He won 2 games in the World Series. Vernon Law joining us. How are you, Vernon?
Hey, I'm doing fine. Thank you very much.
Well, first of all, let me ask you this. How has your life changed since that game in 1960 when the Pirates won the World Series? How many times have you had to talk about this with guys like me?
Well, really living out here in, what we call God's country, along the Wasatch Front, and you got mountains and change of weather occasionally. It's wonderful. Life has been good. There has been a lot of changes, but as far as talking about it, I think everybody that participated in that World Series is more than happy to reminisce for a few minutes.
Vernon Law, 1960 Cy Young Award winner. He won 2 games in the 1960 World Series. He also started Game 7. We will talk about that. All right, first of all, you had a great year in 1960. The Pirates won the pennant. They were up against the Yankees. Everybody in the world, except for Pirate fans, thought that the Pirates would lose. What was the feeling of the team about playing the Yankees?
Well, in a short series, anything can happen. With the way that we went in, with the confidence that we had, we knew that, that we had an excellent chance of winning it, because we won, I think, 31, 32 games in the last 3 innings of ball games, and we just had a great team that had a lot of confidence in each other. Of course, we'd been together for a number of years, and, we liked each other. We got along well together, and, and when you've got great defense like we had, shortstop and second base, best combination in the world. And then we got an outfielder with Roberto out there along with Burton. And when you throw, Skinner was out there a good part of that time for, in left field. And, we had guys that could cover your mistakes for you. So, again, we had good defense. We had guys that could run. Winning and losing starts right on the mound. Friend was a solid pitcher for us. Mizell did a good job for us. And, of course, Haddix was excellent for us that year. And so, we had enough. We felt like, that we could beat them.
We commemorate the 7th game of the World Series, October the 13th, 1960, Vernon Law. You had a special group of guys, and what is it about those guys that Pittsburgh has just loved over the years and continues to love them? Talk about how special these guys were, not just as ball players, but as human beings.
Well, we mixed up with the fans. I had a lot of speaking engagements, a lot of appearances. All the players, we didn't have a gated community that we lived in or anything like that. We had great neighbors. Like I say, we had a lot of personal contact with the fans, and so I think with the kind of people that we had on our ball club, and guys that rooted for each other and pulled for each other, we just felt confident, with what we had.
Joining us, Vernon Law, Cy Young Award winner in 1960, won 2 games in the World Series. All right, let's talk about the fact that you go into Game 7. You are the starting pitcher. As it works out, you are taken out of the game, which sort of led to the exciting finish that happened. To tell our listeners about how you were pitching. You also had an ankle problem, which sort of was one of the reasons that Danny Murtaugh took you out. But to talk about the 7th game and starting that and eventually what happened.
Well, first of all, I didn't sleep too much the night before, knowing that it was all on my shoulders. And so, but I treated it just like another ball game. If you start thinking about losing or about all the fans that are there and people, you got all the cameras on you, the importance of winning, knowing that you didn't want to come out a loser, because the Pirates and the city had nothing to celebrate for a number of years. And so I think that, we all went in with that 7th game with a lot of confidence in each other. And, of course, we scored right away, and I think I had a 4-1 lead going into the 6th inning, and they got a couple men on, and, they had scored a run off of me, and then they, when Murtaugh took me out, then all heck broke loose. To this day, and I've said this before, and I kid Mazeroski about this. I said, Maz, you probably wouldn't be in the Hall of Fame if Murtaugh would have left me in, because I'm not going to give up 6 runs. Who knows? I may have, but regardless, he should be in the Hall of Fame whether he hit that home run or not because of his ability. But regardless of that, you know, it was a scary moment for all of us, you know. And of course, a lot of people forget Hal Smith's 3-run homer that put us up 2 runs, and then you know, that top of the 9th inning, Friend comes in. All he got to do is get 3 outs, but unfortunately, they got a couple base hits, and then before Haddix could get them out, why, they scored those 2 runs, tied it up, and then that set the stage.
Now, where were you, sitting in the dugout, or where were you when Maz came up?
Well, I was in the dugout, but I had gone in and changed my shirt and come back out, you know, and so that was I wanted to see the bitter end of this thing, you know, one way or the other.
Did you have any type of feel as to what would happen? I mean, did you say to yourself, I knew this was going to happen, or were you afraid that maybe it wouldn't?
Well, no, you know, again, I still had confidence that we were going to win it because of our past history, our willingness to, you know, to keep scratching and fighting until it proved otherwise. And so, well, you know, as soon as Maz got up there, and with Ralph Terry being more of a fastball pitcher than anything else, I knew we had a pretty good chance.
Final moments with Vernon Law, 1960 Cy Young Award winner. He also won 2 games in the 1960 World Series. The question I have for you, Vernon, is how did you get out of the ballpark and get home after that?
Well, I tell you, I had Ezra Taft Benson, who came to see that 7th game, because I started out the gate with them. He wanted to stick around. I was fortunate enough I got tickets for him. And so, anyway, we started out, and boy, the fans just started right. So we hurriedly closed that door, and he says, listen, I've got my driver on the side out here. Let's go out through this other way. And so we did, and we just got right into his car, and then they took me over to our car. And so, you know, that saved the day. But I did have to go down to KDKA. They wanted an interview right after the game, and I don't know why they chose me. Maybe because they knew I was, you know, that I didn't celebrate like a lot of the other guys, and so I had my senses about me. So you know, they invited me to go down, and so I did that. And then from there I went right on home because the other guys, they went over to Shanley Park and they had some more celebration up there. So I missed out on that part, but I celebrated the way I wanted to with my neighbors. They had ice cream and cake, and we just had a great time.
Vernon, I really appreciate joining us. Thanks for all those memories.
Well, hey, thank you. You know, I mean, what good would it have been have not the fans been there? You know, we got to give them some credit, too, because they pulled us through just as much as we did. It was great.
Thank you, Vernon.
Thank you very much.